Hello, hello, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we are doing the 12th recipe from the apple turnover murder. It is called Breakfast in a Muffin. So, it doesn't seem like a hard recipe. You mix up the muffin batter. You put a little bit in the bottom of the pan, you make a little circle with the bacon, you dump in an egg, you cover it with more of the batter, and then you sprinkle cheese on top and you bake it off for like 30 minutes. Not hard. It is a little expensive right now with the price of eggs. We're using like 14 eggs per recipe, but you do get to keep the egg whites. You make it's got a bunch of different recipes you can make, but in a total, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 400. You're going to want 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 heaping tablespoon of white sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 3 large eggs, 1 cup whole milk or light cream, half a cup of melted butter, 1 stick, 12 strips of bacon fully cooked, 12 small or medium eggs. I went to the store last night because I missed that part when I originally went over this recipe. They only had large, extra large, and jumbo. Like, they didn't even have a spot for medium or small. So I guess we don't sell those, or it's a product of all the bird stuff going on, but I just have large eggs. That's all I could find. Half a cup of shredded cheddar, Swiss, or Jack cheese. Hannah's first note: before you start these muffins, you must decide which type you want to make. You can use a regular 12-cup muffin pan or a jumbo pan that makes 6 muffins. I went with the 12 just because the jumbos are so hard to eat. And like I said, you're just going to mix up the batter and all that. It just says Michelle's note: I forgot once to mix the shredded cheese into the batter. The muffins didn't look as nice, but they tasted every bit as good. You want to grease your muffin pans, no matter which one you use. If the yolk breaks when you're putting it in the center of your little corral, it's okay. If you're making jumbo muffins, use 2 strips of bacon and 2 egg yolks for each muffin. Does warn to put your whatever tray you're using on a drip tray cookie sheet kind of thing, just in case. It says they don't rise a lot, which I find strange considering there's 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So I find that strange that they're not going to rise a lot. That seems like a lot of baking powder to me. It does say for the regular muffins, you're going to want to bake for 25 minutes at 400, and for jumbo, 375 for the same amount of time, 25 minutes. You get 12 regular or 6 jumbo that look very pretty when you slice them in half. These muffins can be reheated in the microwave, and they're almost as good as they are right out of the oven. So, with that being said, I got everything laid out. Let's get started. This is going to be our breakfast muffins. So, the first thing we're doing is taking our large bowl of flour. We're going to mix in the sugar, the salt, and the baking powder. And we want to stir those together. It does mention doing this with a whisk. Or maybe not. Maybe that's just the eggs. You want to whip them with a whisk. Nope, it does say to whisk it in. Alright, well, our 3 eggs. Give them a nice good whisk. Okay, so apparently I have screwed up, but we're just going to keep going and just kind of work with it. Apparently the eggs, the milk, and the melted butter were supposed to be separate. So I have a well, and I'm just going to mix it all into there. And then kind of like you do with the pasta dough, I guess. Just kind of keep mixing it and then add the flour into the outside. It says the batter is supposed to be lumpy, not smooth. Don't stir it until it's smooth. So we're just gonna try to stir it until most of the flour is incorporated. All right, I don't see any more lumps of flour. So it does say to give this a final stir. Actually, hold on. Alright, so I'm gonna try to put like a tablespoon at the bottom of each one. Once we have that, it does say the eggs, the egg whites, can be used for angel kiss cookies, angel pillows, or an egg white omelet later. So I don't have exactly enough bacon for this, so I'm gonna tear a couple of them in half. Just kind of hope that works out. It won't stay. Oh no. Oh well. It is what it is. Next thing is to wrap our poor eggle. That happened. Now it says to divide the main batter among the partially filled cups, just spooning it on top. These muffins don't rise a lot, so can be almost filled to the top. So I don't know if I'm aiming to get it on top of the bacon or just the egg, but that's, I guess, where my goal is going to be, is to just scoop it on top of the egg yolk itself. Not entirely sure how it was supposed to be. I think these were a clever idea. I'm just not sure in execution-wise I'm doing that great. So it says to sprinkle the cheese on top. Technically, we have these together. I don't know if they're anything close to what they're supposed to be, but let's give you a look and then we'll pop them in the oven. So this is what we ended up with. Some of it seems okay, some of it seems like it's going to be interesting. So overall, I think these were overly complicated for something that is essentially a breakfast sandwich. You could have easily just made a muffin, cut it in half, fried up an egg, piece of bacon. It would have been faster. It wouldn't have made as many. Heck, it probably would have been better, but these were a mess. They were hard to get out of the pan. They were hard to make, but they're bland. I would rather just have like a breakfast sandwich. There's nothing special about this at all. In fact, it's kind of bland. And I even used like Black Forest bacon. So that's saying something. Will it get eaten? Yes. Would I make this again? Absolutely not. Next week, we are making a sesame seed tea cookie. I think I've did those before. They sound really good. If you're interested, I hope you join us next week. I hope you have a good one. Bye.